It's interesting how memory works and how there's events that happen in a lifetime, and some of those things are almost like photographs. They're captured, and it's been referred to as like a flashbulb moment. And those memories, a lot of them we have in common. But there's another event that was really important in my life, and it's when I became pro-life, because I considered myself to be pro-choice. And what changed me happened in an instant. It was a look and a smile. My name is Bill Carico. I'm from Wise County, Virginia, and then grew up also in the Roanoke Valley, and moved here to Lynchburg in 1998, spent 20 years in Texas. So I've been around, raised 3 kids, and now I have 6 grandkids, and wanted to share the story of how I became pro-life. To set up that story, I was in college in 1973, and that's the time that Roe v. Wade was handed down in January. It was announced that all the anti-abortion laws in the United States that were enacted by the states were considered to be, or judged to be, unconstitutional. What was really interesting about that decision, it was a 7-2 vote that basically said that the unborn child had no rights to life. My wife is Patti. After graduation, moved to Washington, D.C., and Patti grew up in Springfield, and we had some good friends there. And they had a daughter, and by Christmas time, it was right after Thanksgiving, Patti came in and said that their daughter's pregnant. And my first thought, I knew who she was dating and other things. I knew her age, and I thought, boy, that's awful early to get pregnant. And I said, thought to myself, well, I guess they'll be getting an abortion. And Patti says, oh no, the wedding is coming up, and they're hurrying to get things ready for the wedding. And I said, well, how far along is she? And I just assumed that the solution to this problem, ruining her life and taking away her school and having to raise a kid and all that, just seemed like a bad alternative. And Patti says, no, she's past the cutoff that they had set in the early days for abortion. And so they're having a wedding. And so early December we gathered at the church, and we had a wedding, and she was showing, it was real clear that she was pregnant. And again, I didn't think much about that. After they took off, I just figured that they're going to have a rough life, and it's almost like, sad, what a shame. And then came my moment that I'll never forget. It was about a year later, and we were at the parents' house, and the little girl came up to me, and she was walking, and she put her hand right on my knee, and she looked in my eyes, and she smiled. I became pro-life in that instant. I can still picture it. And it was quite an emotional realization to think that I could have influenced. If she had asked me, I would have advised her, that this is just bad timing, and you need to live life on your terms. I could have given her all these very shallow thoughts, and I realized that I could have been responsible for things being on a totally different path. But I realized that God's sovereign over the womb. And I was talking to her the other day, and I said, do you ever tell your story? And she said, no. She said, I said, why not? She said, I just didn't think anybody'd be interested. But I asked her, I said, but what is it in that time? I said, you were so young that, caused you to want to choose life. She said, I think it was just instincts kicking in. So if you really look at the cost of compromise, you take out what you think is just an inconvenient potential life, but you're cutting off a legacy.